G'day, I'm Adrian, and this is my place. G'day everyone, welcome to the fish room. I am so pleased you decided to come and hang out with me today. I've finally gotten around to making the snail video. So that's been something that's been pretty slow coming, obviously, pardon the pun. But it's something that I haven't really wanted to do. I haven't got that motivation until now. I wanted to put something together. I've got a heap of footage. I did want to make a snail video. There's a plethora of them out there, just like everything else on the internet. So this will be a snail video like you've never seen before. I've got no idea ultimately how it will end up. Hopefully it'll do okay. I really appreciate it. It's hot today. Like, how hot? Bloody hot. The dogs are upstairs and laying in the air conditioning, which is pretty cool. I'm going to get into it, and so go and get comfy, because I'm not going to talk about fish. I'm going to talk about snails and some fish as well. Given I'm making a video about snails, it would be remiss of me not to actually mention these guys, which are probably, without doubt, my most favourite snails. The mystery snail has come a long way from being just gold and white. Now you can get them in all shades of blue and purple, deep burgundies, maroons, and I really like this blue colour. Now I used to breed these guys in their thousands, especially when I was in my old fish room. These guys on screen are some of the ones that I bred over the years. If you didn't know, the body of the snail is actually called the foot. So when describing the snail, you describe it in two parts. One, the colour of the shell, and also the colour of the foot. We've never had any problems keeping snails with any shrimp or any type of invertebrate. Shrimp are especially good tank mates for these guys. I find they do no harm in the tank whatsoever. All they want to do is eat anything that's dead or rotting, and then of course sleep and breed. Pest snail can be any snail really, and for me they become a pest as soon as they become too abundant, and I actually have to start feeding the tank more food because they're getting most of it. I have had this happen with mystery snails as well, when my tanks have completely exploded, but these guys are the usual suspects, and I think most fish keepers will actually recognise them straight away. You've got the ram's horn, of course. They're actually quite beautiful nowadays as well, coming in different shades and colours, and I've kept all types of them with no difference between the colour morphs. You then have the Malaysian trumpet snails, which at the moment are the bane of my life and the reason for this video. And of course, most people would recognise the pond snail or the bladder snail. I've got these three snails in all of my systems throughout my place, including all the tanks, all the tubs, shrimp bowls, and any other body of water. Now, when I started researching for this video, as you do, you find a whole heap of information on snails, in particular the aquarium species that we all have in our tanks, and even the ones that are local and specific to Australia. They are pretty long-lived, particularly the mystery snails, which I've had live more than 5 years, and they become really good breeders and quite prolific quite young. Unless you've deliberately added these types of snails to the aquarium, people often wonder how they actually get in. Well, most of the time they come in as either tiny babies or eggs on plants, or sometimes even mixed in with sand and other substrates that you add to your tank. Now, if you live in Australia, you'll know that you cannot buy, sell, trade, or move these guys, the assassin snails. They are legal through most parts of the world, and whilst not technically illegal here to have them in your tank, you are not allowed to move them in any way, shape or form. Okay, as you can see, it is chockers full of snails, Malaysian trumpets, and the reason that is predominantly overfeeding. It's, really comes down to that. If there's enough food for this many snails, they will breed. So I've had problems in the tank. I had the angels breed in here once, and ever since then the snails have taken over, so I'm sure they've laid and the snails have eaten the eggs. So what I'm going to do is siphon it out now with a large siphon hose. I will try and siphon as many as I can out at the same time. I do run the risk of the cories, if there's any babies in there, coming out, so I'll probably put a net over the end of it. But yeah, I'm going to drain this tank now and remove the snails. So this is the tank the next day. You can see there's still a few snail tracks that are left in here, but these guys are, yeah, giving me grief. No, mate, please. So what I will do is I'll probably give it one more scrape out now before I redo this scape. So this, you will have already seen how it ended up with my Gday video. If you haven't, this is the video here. Go and check it out, because I'm pretty going to have a look at it. I reckon it's going to come out all right, but anyway, you can be the judge of that. So the snails, obviously, on the walls have all come down, and I'm pretty much happy with how that's going to be. There'll be enough in the bottom to keep up any of the detritus and fish poop and all the rest of it. You can see during the daytime, these snails pretty much disappear. So that's the next one we're going to have a look at. And I don't have them over here so much. I think it's because, yes, I know. I think it's because I don't overfeed this tank, number one, but given they eat the timber and everything else in there, that's it tends to keep it balanced. So again, feeding, I can't stress it enough. That's what gives you snail explosions. Yeah, and mini fox terriers, that's what gives you filming issues. Anyway, let's get into it.
Several months later.
So the sun is setting, and yeah, Zig, enough. He can't find a ball, is his problem. The dogs have ventured outside. Just I'm gonna feed all of the tanks now. So tubs outside. It's about 32 degrees today, so that was pretty darn hot, and the dog spent most of the day inside with the air conditioning. So what I'm going to do now is take you through these things. Now, one of the tanks I don't have snails in is this one up here. So this you would consider a predatory tank for snails. These guys are desperate for food. So I've actually I gave them a really light feed last night just because there's babies in there, and I knew that they'd be hungry tonight when I wanted to film. So I really have to trick them pretty much to get them to do anything that I want. Kind of like Mrs. Fisher, I guess. But these guys are desperate for some food, and I'm going to show you that right now. But this is actually the reason I'm showing you these, not just because they're spectacular, is the no snails. You can see all the detritus and build up of all the stuff in there. So this is one of the things that snails do that's awesome, is they will keep your tank clean. Any snails that go in here basically get munched up, and I've decided that what I'm going to do now is deliberately feed these guys some snails. So I've got so many. If you have a look at this, if you want to see Now I know that so Krabby's still in here. I've seen her a few times. She comes out after dark usually, but look at the snails in here. So the crabs do not eat the snails, which is a bit disappointing. If I can get this to focus, there we go. So these guys, yeah, they're living their best life, and of course I have to feed a copious amount because by the time the lights go off, most of that stuff is going to be picked up by the snails. I also drop some sinking pellets or green cuisine into her tank regularly as well for her basically after dark. Now, if you want to look at the veracity of these Malaysian trumpet snails, I'll show you this tank up here. And no, it's not scaped, and yes, it's disgusting. So it's been sitting at this level down about here, I don't know, for 3 months, I guess, and I haven't fed the tank once. And basically, it's still full of Malaysian trumpet snails. So they have been surviving in there on whatever, I'm guessing whatever ones died they ate. I'm going to rescape this tank, obviously, do that in another video, but yeah, to not feed them for so long, even I was surprised that when I filled that tank up with water that I got Malaysian trumpet snails on the outside. Now, I don't want this to be all doom and gloom about snails, as you know, because I actually love snails. I think they're fantastic, and they should be part of a balanced ecosystem and environment in the tanks. But this one here is the perfect example of a balanced tank. I do not overfeed this tank. In fact, I would say that I probably, if anything, underfeed it for the amount of fish that's in there. I love the top. Apples are. Try not to get that LED light to do that, don't I? So if I come back there. So that tank to me is something I love, and I would hate to see it covered in snails. So the way I've made sure I didn't do that was don't feed them too much. So this is full of the little dwarf pygmaeus cories in there, as you'll see. They did breed in there, they have done a couple of times, but they won't, of course, with these guys in there, which are the blackfin, long blackfin rosy barbs. How cool is that, dude? He's starting to get to the type of standard that I'm hoping to get out of these guys. I'm going to put them outside and breed them in a tub this year, and it's probably not far from going out because I can handle cooler temps. This tank is another well-balanced snail tank. You will see I've just fed it, and these are the cories that are coming out. You can see snails there as well, just a few. Not enough for them to go nuts and breed. These are Napolensis cories, by the way, I should have said. And again, it's my grotto tank. I love the look. It's going under both eyes. I should have probably prepared this tank. This one I didn't prepare earlier. I'm sorry about that. That really sucks. I can see it from here. So there's the. Let's see if I can zoom in there, maybe. The grotto, and from underneath, yeah, I love it. It's get rid of that pothos now. See if I can zoom up. I'm very happy with that tank, and again, a balanced tank. Pretty much anything with cories in it, I find is able to balance itself because the cories are pretty quick. There goes the matais, as you saw. Oh, look, there's one of the baby gold lasers out. So I fed them this. I had a mate drop off. Oh, there's Mr. Wendell. He's waiting for his food. I got mosquito larvae for you tonight, boy. You are going to be very, very happy. So, I've got this. This is a no-name flake food that I've got from a mate, Tom. I rarely feed flake foods, although I do think they have their purpose. But this one in particular, my mate brought over with a, sorry for a sec.
A few moments later.
I should think about something. He brought over, and it's really good to feed these guys because they can't just smash it like they do when they're pellets, and they'll take ages. So I'm hoping to get some pretty cool shots of them. Anyway, I'm going to do that now, and then we'll get back into the snails, I guess, shouldn't we? Oh, by the way, speaking of snails, changed my mind. These are the bladder snails, or the pond snails. So this tank was pretty overrun with it. It's got a very interesting mixture. It's got some a couple of the gold danios still left. It's got my baby rainbows, 3 of them. It's got lacustrous rainbows. There was a flagtail in there. I forget what those ones are. We'll find out hopefully what they are and put that up on the screen now. If not, I forgot. And of course, just the whole mess of sorties that I've got in here. So I do feed the tank a lot. Oh, and the Gday, that's Victoria. So I feed that tank a lot, but what happens is they, rainbows and sorties, they don't mess around, and not much gets to the bottom to support a massive amount of snails. This one also same thing. I certainly think snail traps have their purpose, but for me, I find them pretty cumbersome and to be painful on an ongoing basis. I having 100+ tanks, having to stick my arm in every night to pull these things out and or put bait into them is not something that inspires me. So I'm just going to skip over this topic, as there is a whole plethora of videos and information on how to do this, and it's not something that I do, and this is a how I do it video. So there you go. Snail traps, great for purpose. They do work if you've got 1 or 2 tanks. Definitely try them out if you've got a small infestation. Now I know this seems pretty simple, but one of the best ways to get these guys out is simply feed the tank every night. You're going to do it anyway, and just come along and get a whole heap of snails into your net. I like to pick them off the tank because they tend to just fall off if you do it right. I'm doing it one-handed while filming. There we go. And then I'm quite happy to leave. I mean, this tank's not overrun. The fish really do, I think, get enough of the food so as to stop them from being too... Hello, Mr. Wendell. Anyway, yeah, from being too overrun and being invasive, I guess. Down here, don't really have a problem. Again, bottom feeders tend to be really quick. And you can see the cories, the Adolphoids are doing well. What snails I have are on the food. That's just another good example of why you can feed in one spot, have the snails go there, and actually be able to get them out in one go. Okay, so I'm going to drop the food in and these snails. So what I'm going to do, there's a feeding hole over here. I'm going to throw it in, and then I throw a bit in there, drop the snails into it, and then grab this video. That's probably all I'm going to get. That was pretty good though. Best I've been able to film them for a while. I'll let you know if they eat those snails too. I just took the camera down from filming these guys, of course. And I thought, wow, there's no umbrella tree. Look, pretty cool as a bonsai there at the moment. So, I wasn't sure I could shape it and make it look natural under the lights, but yeah, so this is one of the things with the fish room too here. Look at that, did you see that bug flying around? I think that's a termite, or one of the queen termites that are flying princessy things. But that these guys love that. Anything that falls in the tank. In fact, the whole room attracts bugs of a night time. See Brutus over there, just chillaxing out here, dark, so of course all the bugs come in, which is brilliant. But what I was saying is that I didn't think it would actually do so well under these lights. So I've also, given that experience, I decided to try this, and the bonsai is doing brilliantly. I still don't have a grow light. I will, I promise I will, but it's just a normal fluoro, and then the LED spotlight there, and it's continuing to just keep on sprouting, even though I've given it a reasonably good trim. Now the branch did die, so I'm going to give that a strip back and make that a gin, as I said in another video. A quick update for around here. In fact, the babies, I'll start here. All doing well. Haven't fed these guys for the Acaras. I'm thinking of doing a feeding video for the room. If you think that's a good idea, I could probably just clean these tanks up a little bit, and then so you can see them, and then feed them. These guys up here, oh, look at the moths and the bugs. I don't know if you can see them ripping around there. Sorry about the flashing. So these guys are doing well. Haven't fed them yet, and you can see they're keen for it. It's batch 2, batch 1, still doing really well. 4 and 5, as usual, doing well. I did have a surprise on this tank, but it wasn't a good one. Aww. If you see, you won't see anything, like not a thing. Now, I don't know why. I came in one morning, I fed them, they were fine, no problems at all. I did a water change on them the day before, so again, that wasn't it. And they just started to all look a bit funny, the way they were swimming, and then that was it. They were done and dusted, and I lost the whole tank. So the angels are doing well. Not that you'll see them with this tank, but yeah, so they're all still in there doing well, and they're going to go to this tank tomorrow, actually. The betas still in their buckets, and they will be getting into their new homes tomorrow as well. So I've got a day in the fish room planned. I did end up keeping the eggs from the stir-by, so I put them in there, and I'll have some more babies, I'm sure. I fed the flake food. Geez, that's hard to say. I fed the flake food tonight to them as well, so that you can see how that just sinks down. And for Corey's, that'll be an awesome snack. So, okay, that is where the update is for the rest of the room. I guess we should get back to the snails. One last thing I do want to point out is how important snails are when you've got fry in the tank. Now, in this instance, obviously all the fry have died, but I've got enough snails in here that will actually eat the carcasses and bits and pieces, because I don't, unless I'm going to siphon it all out, which I'm just going to let that tank do its thing. And then once it's gone through its cycle of eating and decomposition, then I'll drain all the water out and I'll probably start again from that one. These guys, I put at least 6 ram's horns and or trumpet snails in for them, so they're the betas. And what's super important, and I haven't done it yet, and I am just about to do it now, in fact I'll do it right now, is making sure we get these guys in there. So there's quite a few in there. They will certainly keep the tank clean in the first instance. Well, it's late afternoon. I'm editing this video for you guys right now, and as usual I have had a couple of visitors throughout the day I thought you might like to see as well. Okay, these guys have come around a couple of times this morning. Here, guys, shot some more, some seed. Here you go. Put some of that there for these guys. You don't blow it all off. There you go. You want some? My friend. This dude looks like he's molting. Coming in spring. This dude looks in full plumage. Do you like that? It's the first time I've fed them rolled oats before. I don't have any seed up here. Just took the opportunity whilst these guys are out here. How you doing, guys? Yeah. Yeah, I think your feathers will come back. As handsome as this dude. Yeah, you are beautiful. You are very beautiful. Alright, you guys enjoy that. I'm gonna get some work done. What are you doing, my friend? don't eat that anyway. You did enjoy your seed though, didn't you? Hello beautiful boy, you want some chicken? Let me go and get you some chicken. Okay, so I'll get you some chicken, my friend. You come and try this. Yeah. You gotta watch their beaks, they do have big beaks. But you've got to take it out of your hand. Yeah, there's the other stuff here. Usually takes a few goes. You eat this one. I'm guessing that's not going to your babies. Such beautiful birds, so smart too, aren't you? You are super intelligent. What a beautiful bird you are. These guys are the largest of the kingfishers in Australia. They're great at killing snakes. Amazing. Yeah, I know. That's what you eat for, snakes. Yeah, there's some down here. Let's see how much you trust me. You drop down here. There you go. You didn't mind, did you? No. Okay, I'm still editing a video. I can't really hang out here with you much longer. Hope you have a good night though. Not a bad dinner. Bit of takeaway barbecue chicken. Yeah, I know. Alright, I gotta go. See ya. So this is how the tank looks today. And obviously the Gday is doing well. I'm trying to get, there we go, that's a better shot. The glare out of there. I have turned the rest of the lights off in the room, but this rack stays on. How good do they still look? The blue in them. Now, the point of this exercise though was about the snail. So you'll see there's no snails in the ground at all. And so I'm missing some there. I did see one when I turned the soil over because I just replanted this plant. So one of the main reasons I know there's no snails, or certainly no quantity of snails in there, is that that plant has got dead leaves on it and guaranteed would be munched on if they had a chance. So there's a pleco in here which keeps this tank pretty clean. I do give a scrape every now and again, but the reality is the pleco does most of the work. I don't overfeed the tank. These guys never have food hanging around for long. If it gets to the bottom, then yeah, they just act like a pack of wolves and just smash it. So that's how that tank looks now. And the top, I just gave a bit of a prune back just by pulling the stuff out so I could show you. I might just feed these guys now so you can see what I mean as far as how much food I'm going to give them, and then how that corresponds to still having no snails. So I just got a handful of that Macca's flake food. Put a reasonable amount in, and off they go. So there's very little chance that even if this stuff gets to the ground, that the snails are going to be able to get to the point that they're going to breed profusely. That's pretty cool, huh? These they have a hierarchy for sure, and then you've got the other ones who are smart enough to wait down the bottom and not fight for it at the top. I really love these fish. If I put my hand in, they nibble at my skin. They're just great fish. Now the next tank, I'm going to turn the light on and close me about this. So I think we'll start with a close-up, but you can see I fed a bit of the green cuisine. Well, probably about an hour, 2 hours ago now, and the snails have all come out. I'm getting bombarded with flying insects here in a minute. So yeah, this is what you would class as an infestation, or what I class as an infestation. And now surprisingly the plecos don't eat the food quick enough to warrant food that I give them, certainly the amount that I give them. So most of it is getting completely smashed by these guys. I'll just turn the light on and see if I can, there you go, maybe that's a bit of a better view of the snails, but there certainly are a few in there. So this whole rack, I'll show you over here, there's not many snails because I don't overfeed this tank, but some baby 397s, which is always cool to see. One of my favourite little flecks. So this rack is going to get an overhaul. Well, probably a little bit on that one, but these 5, and they're all covered with snails. I'll just stand up and show you the peppermint tank. So it has too many snails in there for my liking, so it needs to go. And then these guys are bred just recently. You can tell by the size of the snails in there. Sorry. So yeah, so this tank will get pulled down as well. This is the L333. So maybe over here without the glare. That's a much better view. I'm sure you can see the number of snails in there. Okay, so that's what infestation looks like. So the fish room lights are off over there, and I just wanted to show you in the 8-footer. Again, I think just with the quantum of fish that I have in here, that I don't have any snails, and I fed this tank just not that long ago. So you'll see no food on the ground, the odd snail shell here and there, but these guys, the tetras, the Chinese algae eater, the golden Chinese algae eater, the plecos, which are the peppermints, and of course the cories, make sure that there's just not enough food at the bottom for these guys to actually, to populate so much that they drive me insane. How nice do these guys look? Had no problems since I put the acaras in there. Everyone's get on really well. So hopefully I'll have some babies, some orange babies from these guys to be able to put back in here at some stage soon. Okay, well, that's the snail video done. What did you think about that? It took a lot to put together and to edit. It's been a bit of a nightmare. But then again, most of my editing is. So Zig and I are just hanging out now in the fish room. I'm just going to go through on the feed. I'll probably bring Brutus down with me now and let him hang out down here for a while. I've got Zig's attention, obviously. Wonder why. So as you saw, it wasn't a normal snail video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some tips out of it. I hope it actually just was entertaining at least. So next week, I've got no idea. I've got so many videos I'm thinking about, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys really coming and hanging out with me. It's just, it really means the world to me and to Zig, who's, showing the wrong end. But so thank you very much to each and every one of you. I truly appreciate it. So does Ziggy, so does Brutus. We are going to go now, and of course there'll be bloopers because I really screwed up. Thank you so much. I'll see you again next week. Bye for now. Which is a no-name brand flake food. I very rarely feed flake food. How come? This is a no-name flake food that I've got. That area, and then the snails go to. G'day everyone. Welcome to the fish room. I am so pleased you decided to come and hang out with me today. I have finally got the fish room in a condition that so go and get comfy because I'm going to talk not back. Okay, well, that's it. That's the snail video done. Here it is here. Alright, you sit there. Okay, well, that's the snail video done. Man, am I pleased about that. What am I going to say? What are you doing over there, man? Like, man, you're putting me off. I'll probably bring Brutus.